Hello and welcome back to Space Engineers. In today's video, we're looking at another mod. This mod is very big and very impressive, and it's called Northwind Heavy Equipment, which is this lovely thing I'm standing on. So this is a giant bucket wheel excavator for you to tear a giant hole through a mountainside to just mine up resources, or even just to mine out an area to build your base into it. What I've done is set up a lovely little station here with one hell of a lot of pistons to allow it to reach over to the mountainside right over there. We're going to see how well it does a bit later on, but for the moment, I can press the G menu and we come in and look at the cost. So once you've added it in through the mod menu, you can find it sitting all the way up here. It's simply one block. Ignore all the other modded blocks, that's from a previous video. We can see here it is quite a pricey boy, with most of it being steel plates. That's all we get there. It's simply for a large block only. And I think it's time to have a quick look around the outside, and then we're going to test it out. But for a quick reference, what I'll do is just come over to here. This is all it is when you spawn it in. 2 connection points at the back. Once you spawn it in, the blade comes in at the front, and you're ready to go. But now my character can just bugger off here, fall all the way down to the ground, and this is what we get. So all we can see is a bunch of little buckets to scoop up and dig out the mountainside, and they are unfortunately not solid. You can't stand in one of these and get twirled all the way around like a festival ride, so unfortunately you just have to imagine yourself doing it. Coming around onto the side, this is what we get. We can see the wheel in all of its glory. There is one hell of a lot of detail that's been put onto it, and they've done a fantastic job of making sure it doesn't stick out like a sore thumb compared to all the base game blocks. So we can see there are fake beam blocks, our fake conveyors, come all the way across onto a little area over here, which is where we can stand on. Getting a closer look at the wheel itself, we can see our conveyors come onto some steel blocks, putting the camera all the way through and looking down. That's all we can see on the inside of the wheel. And drop down over to this section, we can see our fake conveyor point sitting right in the middle. If you were to come all the way up and look down, this is what we get. So we can see how our wheel has been supported and goes all the way across to our standing area with a button of how we're going to control this. We see our fake catwalks of, well, I've tried to connect it up over here, but unfortunately it would reach to the where I've connected the pistons up. We've got some railings to make sure we don't fall off. If we get a bit closer onto this section, we've got a button panel, which we can use to control different stuff on it. Unfortunately, the button does not function, so it's simply there for decoration. That's why I've set up the button panel right behind it. Dropping all the way down and onto this section, we might not be able to see too much. We might have to come over to this one, get a better look behind it. There we go, so we can see how that's been done. Then just down and underneath it, that's all there is to it. There we go, that's a very brief look around the outside of the bucket wheel excavator from the Northwind Heavy Equipment, and it does look fantastic with how it's all been set up. But before we go and actually test it out, we'll just touch on one thing very quickly, and that is we can change the colour and we can change the skin. The skin is a little bit funky with what it will allow and what it won't. I'll just come in here and say get a battered armoured red skin. Just go and paste that on top of it. There we go. Was to change that across to say the carbon fibre. There we go with that. We can see the carbon fibre very clearly on that one. But we come down to the hazard skin. Nothing is going to change. We come down to the neon colours. There we go. In fact, that was a bad one to choose. Let's go for that one. There we go. So we get that one. And then we can come over to another one like the sci-fi. And there we go. So it is quite selective with what skins it can use. We can easily recolor it so it doesn't stick out on your design. But without further ado, let's come over to this button panel right here. And it's time to access the control panel. Come into here. These are the only controls we get. So what I'll do for the moment is just toggle that on. Bring the free camera back. That's simply what it looks like. It just spins around and around and around. And we are ready to go. So once again, back into my character, I need to hop around onto this section and hope my station doesn't just fall apart thanks to all the pistons. So I press this, and now it's going to start to move forwards. Now this is going to take quite some time because I put the extending rate very, very low because it is quite a lot of pistons there and the game doesn't really like it when you shoot off a bunch at the same time. I am kind of hoping that is enough to actually reach the side of the mountain. Otherwise this is going to be a very odd video. And here we go once again. Through the magic of the Vauxhall hands, I've created a artificial mountainside for the bucket excavator to go and dig through. We've got plenty to go through because the pistons are not fully extended yet. They're about halfway. And this is what we're getting. So putting my light on, that is the hole we create. It's a nice big round circle. Good enough for a small fighter to fly through or even a land vehicle to get through if you are intending to build your base in a mountainside. But I suppose for the moment, while we're waiting for that to go through, we can come into this section and look through our cargo containers. So we're going to hide all the empty and see what we've collected. So we've got one hell of a lot of stone collected already. Bloody hell, did I just see 560k? Yes, I did. That's one hell of a lot of stone collected by this thing in such a short amount of time. But I suppose that is par for the course considering how big this hole is. And there we go, look at that. If we have to look on the side there we go. Almost fully extended. In fact, I think we are fully extended now. That's the type of hole we have got. So there we go. It'd be a lot more effective if you have this on a large block ship. Just go straight through a mountainside. In fact, if you had 2 of these on either side of a large ship, you could just bore through an asteroid, bore through a mountainside, and have a nice easy sneaky place to go and hide. As for that, there's not too much else to talk about. It's very self-explanatory. It's just a nice fancy modded drill for you to use in your world, and does look bloody great with how it's been designed. So there'll be a link to it in the description below if you do wish to download it and play around for yourself. Highly recommend you do, because it's a fantastic looking mod. And I'll be back with another video some point soon. Bye bye.